Welcome back to our workshop series for our Rammed Earth sauna. And we're James and Michelle. We live in the East Kootenay region of British Columbia, Canada. And we have a Rammed Earth addiction, it appears. We have a number of Rammed Earth projects on the go, hence why we're hosting this course. And this week, what are we doing?
This week, this is the first week of the workshop. We're starting from the ground up, teaching how to build rammed earth walls. We have an amazing instructor named Max, who is one of the forefront in North America for sustainable building and rammed earth building.
He's passionate about it.
Yeah, he's here staying with us on the property and instructing the course. James is assisting him. We've already put out a video on how to do the rammed earth samples, which I will link up here and down below. But today's video is on formwork.
So I just wanted to go over all the pieces, the components of what goes into the formwork for holding the rammed earth before you ram it.
And would this be for any rammed earth project?
We're gonna go over what we're using and explain, and I'll give a couple options of the other stuff. So the other parts and pieces needed. So can you hold this? So this is just a 2x6 you can buy at any Home Depot. So you're gonna need random bits of 2x6 and 2x4 for your framework, and you'll see that later in the video too. But we use this for our kick plates down at the bottom. It helps hold the form in place and stops it from expanding when we're ramming. So that goes around the edges, and then we also have end panels, which are put together with FORMPLY. So this FORMPLY, you can see, it's essentially plywood, and it has a paperback on it, so it looks brown. And what this paperback does is it helps you achieve a nice smooth wall finish. If you were to use plywood, like the reverse side, you're going to see imprints with the knots and the imperfections on that. So the papers just help you get a smoother finish on your face.
Yeah, this would transfer almost like a stamp onto your rammed earth wall.
Yeah.
You use that side.
Yeah. So you can pick this up pretty much any lumber supplier, but it's also referred to as MDO, I think. It's like medium density.
What do you call it though? You call it FORMPLY.
I call it FORMPLY.
Yeah. And it's reusable.
Yeah.
So you'll see in some of our videos where once we remove the forms to reveal the wall, unwrap the big rammed earth wall present, we wash these just with water. Max did mention that sometimes he puts a vegetable oil or something on it, but we didn't do that.
That's like, you can put it as a release agent because we are using cement as our binding agent to stabilize the rammed earth. Typically, you'll strip this pretty quickly. This is commonly used also for concrete forming. Concrete has a lot more moisture in the mix, and it
harder to get off.
These will stick.
Yeah. We didn't have that problem when we were doing.
No, but if you are looking to really save your forms, but you have to be, there's a fine line. I wouldn't do it on the forms, but if you have like our chamfer strips, I didn't grab one of those to show, but that's essentially a 45 degree for our corners, which you'll see in the walls. Yeah, you can add oil to that stuff, but the bond is nowhere near as strong with rammed earth to the forms as it is with concrete. So set this down. Set this down.
Okay. Like Vanna White.
So we have our FORMPLY, and then what we do is we assembled end panels for the thickness of our walls, and in this case we're 18 inches. So we made 12-foot high panels, 18 inches wide, out of 2x4, similar to a 2x4 wall, and then we add ladders to that.
Yeah.
And that's going to hold.
Which are whalers.
Nope, we add ladders to our whalers. And the whaler essentially, so what we're using for that is an eye joist. And that, you can see, kind of mimics the shape of an eye. That's why it's called an eye joist.
Yeah, I see.
I prefer these for a couple of reasons. These come in a variety of sizes and lengths. This one in particular is 11 7/8 deep because they're designed for a floor system to sit vertically. But we're going to use them horizontally. Our wall is running lengthways this way. We place these at 1 foot on center against the edge of it, and it sits on the ladder of the end panel, which you'll see a little later in the video. But these are very strong in this direction. And so what we're trying to do by putting them sideways is to stop the pushing force of the rammed earth. very strong this way. You can use 2x6, 2x10. They can tend to be crooked or crowned, whereas this is very nice and true, and also very light. You want to tell me how light it is?
That's very right.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
very passionate about framing.
Am I?
Did you know that in James's last life, he was a house frame
Yes.
for 20 years,
No.
amongst other things?
So if you can pick
Framing is really important.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the rammed earth process, because if you don't have a good, here's a wasp. If you don't have a good frame and you don't have a good structure, you're not going to have a good wall.
Yeah.
This is what I've learned as a spectator mostly.
Yeah. The formwork is, your wall's only going to be as nice as the formwork.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of the reasons to use this, because it's going to keep everything nice and straight for you. Like I said, you can use dimensional, and Max brings up a really good point. If you're going to purchase materials or your formwork, try to incorporate it into another portion of your project. So these, for example, we'll be using they can be used as our floor or even as a roof. Right?
For the sauna?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a couple. I'm not 100% decided on how I want that to look. So you can do the same thing with 2x10. So you can use it for your roof or your floor. You want to try to maximize the most out of your materials, essentially. So you're not just buying it specifically for the formwork. You can also use the FORMPLY for roof sheeting after the fact, right? Cover it up if you want to save some money, or if you're going to do more. Sorry, go ahead.
Or in our case, because we're building so many rammed earth projects, we use them for all the rest of our rammed earth projects.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I was looking for some sheets, for some of our full sheets when we were starting, and I couldn't find them. I thought somebody somehow grabbed them, but I used them on the roof of the chicken coop.
Oh, yeah.
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 It took me a while to remember. So in addition to these things, we also have steel in there, but that's sort of something we can discover or discuss later. Pretty simple overall if you break it down, and then you're going to need an assortment of different size screws,
Drills.
bunch of different tools.
So the series that we're putting out on our channel over the course of the next at least couple of weeks, it's not like our normal content. We are basically a fly on the wall at a workshop, sort of giving you a peek in to a workshop that people have traveled all over the globe to come to. This is one of many workshops that Max has put on all over Canada, and I think overseas as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's raw, it's mostly uncut, unfiltered, and we'll take you through each step, and I filmed as much as I could. So if there's anything that I'm missing or any questions that you have to put the pieces together along the way, don't hesitate to drop us a comment, and we will definitely respond.
So the filming is a little bit of a challenge because we don't want to interrupt the flow of the workshop, but we're doing our best in post and editing to try to get rid of a lot of the loud construction sounds, but it's not as easy as you would think.
Nope.
Again, we want all the workshoppers here to get the most out of the course, so we don't want to get them to stop
and repeat. We are, like I said, a fly on the wall here with the camera, and just giving you that little peek into the world of the Rammed Earth workshop. So I've created an entire playlist dedicated to this workshop, so I'll put the link in the description below. And if you're finding this video later, like a few months after we've posted it, then there's probably going to be the entire workshop there for you to watch, video by video. So
let's get forming.
All right, let's get forming.
So today we're teaching how to set our footing in place on the footing that we've constructed. So we're putting our end panels in place, and we're making sure that these are plumb level and square and really secured really well from 3 directions. If we do that, everything else should be level when we put our sideboards on and prepare for our rebar and insulation to ram this wall. So this is the most important part of the forming process that we're doing today. Yeah. It doesn't matter, like it's all snap square, whatever. What we're trying to do is get as much concrete on either side of our formwork to sit on. And on this we went 6 and 6 for our spread footing.
So it's still conditioned.
But we don't have 6 and 6 here because we made it smaller on purpose, so we didn't have to mix as much concrete, right? So if you add 3 inches there and 3 inches there, that's 6 inches. That's a lot of concrete to mix by hand.
Now we're gonna decide. Top one's in, so that just
You have it loose. You gotta come this way about a half an inch.
that way.
Yeah.
You have rebar up there with your piece to turn it.
Once we get that one close, we can stick another one up there.
Yeah.
Watch out for that. And how's the top bubble looking?
A little more.
No, it's good. Okay. All right. So, are these still loose?
Yep.
So they can be screwed right back into place. We shouldn't have to adjust anything.
I don't want.
Where are you going after that? Right here? Where you're all a little being
Flip this one around. So I think we need 6 total.
6 in total.
But the whole, I don't.
Because I can tell you, yeah, when I was into drywall, I renovated my entire basement.
we're gonna need these, I guess, right?
I think so. Yeah, maybe just lean them. I don't know.
We can put them on this.
Just gonna put mine down. Heavy. I gotta let them get in with theirs first.
Especially that red orange cap.
Just gonna set on top of the.
Yeah. And you give me about a half an inch or so of play towards the end there. So that's that way just a little. So what you want to do now is give me 5 screws, evenly placed, spaced.
We don't have that. You got that?
And what you want to do is hold those butting. And now we're going to see if we're level this way. So we're going to slap our builder's level on this. Check that out.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So extend that.
Really
Pretty good.
Pull that end out.
There.
Now what you're going to do there, Christopher, is hold it level with that board, right? The joint. Not here, but there. And I'm going to see, because we're a little high on this end.
Like that?
No, level with this.
Level with your end form joint.
There are rocks underneath the like come up top.
There might be. Yeah,
Oh, I see.
we didn't sweep up.
I see
Sweep
what
up
you
our
mean.
thing.
Right there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna put 5 screws in here and screw this right to this end form. Then we're gonna do the same with this board, button this up, making sure we're level. And I would level the top here. Don't worry about the bottom. You gotta put a little shim in there to level, but we'll see once we get all the debris out of here if it sits nice. And then we'll screw that in. Then we're gonna start putting whalers on the back. Somebody can take that other cross brace down to the one that's missing on the bottom there, it's over here. It's sitting around here somewhere. There it is. And screw it into the back of that end panel. Okay, so we got to come up a little there. So I'm going to hand you this. And no, I'm going to lift and you're going to put the shim underneath, right? So you're going to go down and put the shim in and I'll watch from up here. I need you right there.
Okay.
That look okay?
Yeah.
So now we're just going to take one there and we're going to do this end. I'm going to lift it to right there. I think.
Are you going under both sheets?
Nope, just under the one sheet.
Okay.
Right there.
You put your toe against this.
Yeah, there we go. If you're running into resistance, it's good. That looks pretty level. Okay. Let's slap our builder's level on there. So you guys just hold that there so it doesn't move. Not on top because we're going to put the level on just at the back. If we've got these perfectly level with each other at the top, which I didn't do because it's a small building and it's a sauna, then these are going to
If you
be
say something, you have to lock
level with each other.
It's pretty good.
Like,
we could count this.
no, I don't want to move it at all.
No.
If it's within, that's
Get
acceptable.
more to the middle.
On a small wall like this, that's acceptable. On a house, that's not acceptable, right? But on a small sauna, that's acceptable. That's good. So you can start at the top and then put one in the bottom. That way we know it's not going to move on us there after you get that bottom one in. Somebody bring me a whaler in. We're gonna put it on our first ladder. Is that long enough? That one might not be long enough.
Just
Good. Put it on top of the first whaler.
okay.
Whaler. You're gonna put that Chuck order. Give me the Robertson. Yeah, they're quarters in it. All right. And who's got the other one? Another drill.
I bet you it's over there. Back over
Man,
there.
against the other drills?
Yeah, we need two. Hey, I don't have a belt on you. You're gonna get plumber butt there. And I noticed there's a lot of plumbers here today. Because we want to sink this in to this 2x4 through that board. Okay. Now these are aluminum, so if you go past, if you tighten past it, you'll pop the head right off.
Okay.
The goal is not to press it down, is to keep it from moving this way. So I'm not sure where James was screwing these in, but these aren't long enough to go through straight down. So you're going to go in at an angle right there. And you're going to pinch one corner tight. Okay. So when we do this corner, you're going to kick your foot against it and put one in. And this become a pivot point. And then we're going to press up against that one and put one in. And then we're going to put a second one in. Get what I'm saying?
Okay. So we're going into this.
No, you're going into this.
Oh, from here.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And center it best you can and
Yeah.
drive it in. But I'm telling you, if you overdrive it past that washer, because these are roofing seals, you'll pop the head right off. And it's not a big deal. We can get them out, but I wonder if you shouldn't almost go straight down
That's
through.
what I was thinking.
Good. So does anybody know why I'm using hex head screws here over a Robertson head?
Because you don't want the form doing in and out.
Because our material, as we're filling, starts from silt and goes to sand. And a Robertson screw head will fill up. And then when you try to get that thing, when you try to take those screws out after, it is a real pain in the butt. So we've opted for either aluminum or metal 3-inch roofing screws. And they can have the washer or not. And what that is then with that hex chuck, these come out easy.
Oh, so it has nothing.
If you've ever sat there trying to dig the material out of 1,000 Robertson head screws to pull them out, you'll curse the day you were born. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut our insulation or cut our rebar about 1.5 inches below that line. So we have the measurement from the hole, the top of the footing, to the line, minus 1.5 inches, but plus 4 inches for the hole, right? And we're gonna It's just easier to measure each one. And then we're gonna cut two, what do we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pieces of vertical rebar we're gonna have to cut.
Yeah. So 4
Oh,
inches.
yeah, there you go. You're gonna try to operate this
plus 4 inches minus an inch and a half. Right?
for the rebar
Yeah, for the weekend.
on each hole, right? So each one's different.
So plus 2.5 inches. Line to slab.
Yeah, no,
Okay, I'm on.
perfect. And we only need it on one side, so wind that baby up. And what we're gonna do is we'll get you guys to measure it.
We have a tape up there.
Even with that hole.
hole,
Yeah.
Wait, I'm gonna mark these now. So just give me the height to the top of, like, give me the line height that you're getting. Right
138.
I'll warn you before I do it, okay? Ready? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here, I gotta get you. JoJo's interesting. I was gonna say, what you doing there, eh?
Making chamfers.
Champers.
Chamfers, eh?
Oh,
What you gonna do
champers.
with all those chamfers?
Champers are corner bits to make the corners
Yeah.
pretty on the rammed.
Yeah, there.
See, I learned something. How many you gotta make?
4.
That's it? Easy.
That should be 120 and that should be 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask him if we can fit.
Because I'd hate to just.
Yeah. Was that a small one that you had? It was 20 feet, right? So.
It should be 240.
Yeah, it should be 240, right?
What did we lose 2 inches?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Victoria, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drawn in quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a method of Victoria. When it's like a man in the tube, it heads inside and it's like rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better, yeah.
So do we go over it? Like,
You don't have to, but you can. So you're gonna tape this joint, right?
oh yeah, that's. Yeah, what can I do? I just need to drop it on top and then we'll just stuff it.
This is a styrofoam product, and I'm not sure which brand it is because James purchased it. But this is a heavy duty styrofoam. It's 200 psi resistance, so you can use it under a slab. Like normally we use like an XPS insulation or rock salt.
That makes.
Everything lining up.
Yeah,
Pretty good. Okay. How About that side. It
I
looks a
can
little
come
low.
across to you if you want.
Oh, it does look a little low there.
Yeah, can I go?
Yeah, I got a shim right. Oh, those are the broken ones.
I go to the left. So you
Good,
can
good shims.
How hard do you have to hammer this first until they stop moving?
So it's not moving.
There's styrofoam. They should be about the same length at the end, hopefully.
They'll be flopping all over.
There's styrofoam here.
Oh, you really. I can't believe you did that.
You good there?
If you're a hair long, we can always.
Chamfer.
Yeah, rebar tip. Gives you the horizontal. Did I get it caught in there?
Mix it up or what?
No, you're good.
How do you do like that? What the?
Right there.
Okay. Pop your tape down to the form, all the way down to this the footing, and then make a mark at what height?
9.
9'10".
11?
9'10". This side I wrote down for you.
Oh yeah, it's right there. Yeah, it is. 9'10".
Yeah. And then this side is going to be 11'7". And then that's going to be. So if this is your mark, your board is going to be on the underside. Okay. And that'll align you with that line. Okay.
Okay.
So 11'7" board down.
Oh, I get what you're doing here.
Push up.
Whoa. I'm there. It's gonna look higher because of the corner piece. Offsets it.
The chamfer, you mean?
Yeah. And that one to be 11'7".
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got 2 of these hex heads up here. I just need a driver.
You're gonna take it off.
Yeah, but screw it with the hex head.
No, just a router.
Okay, here.
Oh yeah, because we won't be up this high.
It's not doing a lot. He's not holding anything.
Yeah, yeah.
You just at the line below the line.
I'm below the line, yeah.
Okay. 2 millimeters.
Because you're at a slope, you can't measure at the angle because you sit like this. Right? You don't want to measure horizontally. Make sense?
Yep.
And then you could just take and literally screw in those guys. They're going to stick out an extra 3/4, so you want to get that side snug. This side you can this will deflect in. You know, and nice and easy, right?
Sure that you're level wall to wall, right? Like, so are your heights the same? So we might, like, if you're a 1/4 of an inch off, then you've got to jack one side up a 1/4 of an inch to maintain your level all the way down the wall. And you might, you know, very important to get this perfect as you can. But it's not unusual for us to be like 1/2 an inch out, 40 feet down. And we've jacked the wall up all the way to, so that the top of our wall is level, right? But if you wind up with a gap in the bottom of your material, it doesn't matter unless it's a finished exposed wall, just ram it. Some material come out.
And then so the way you'll do this is you'll probably do this one, then the other side.
We're gonna turn the corner, or what you mean for the walls?
I'm curious how you tie in the walls just to the slab.
Okay, so this one, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put an end panel here, and I'm gonna put the other end panel on the back side of this wall, so I can use these ladders on the outside. So I'm gonna secure 2 end panels there. That's one way. This is one way to do it, right? And then the only place on the inside where we're not going to have any support is right in this corner, right? There's no end panel here. It's over there. So we're going to put a strong back here, and we're going to cut spacers, right? So that when we put a whaler in, it sits on a spacer, folding it exactly where we need it, and then a strong back goes on, brace, right? So that's like That's like a standing strong back. It might be like two 2x10s with a plywood, 3/4 plywood spacers. And then I'm gonna set that there. And I might even ready rod to the bottom of the top. So suck everything together, right? But you also have to have spacers inside the walls at this point, because what's holding this width with nothing backing up to it, I'll build a little spacer to make sure that this wall is exactly the dimension I need, right? And you're gonna see that in the pictures in the manual. The other way to do it is the way James did there, right? So he actually has a corner. That's the next level up of formwork, to do an actual corner form.
I don't want to get into that. Yeah, that's what
I teach the Stonehenge method. That's what we teach, our basic method, where we're actually abutting walls.
that's
And often on a wall like this, what'll be right here is a window. So we're gonna actually be able to put an end panel and end panel, and we're gonna go do all the tall wall sections. Then when we got a window here, we can build two 2x4 frames, push them against our rammed earth, right? And then fill up to the level of, like there, you can see the windows are what, about 2 feet off the ground?
Yeah.
Right? And you ram up to there. Then your window goes in and you can fill this top with, you can run a window right to the lintel beam, or you can fill it in with other material. The next level up from that is actually have renders over your windows and doors, and that's a different kind of forming. So we just teach the basic forming here, and I want you to get this because advanced forming isn't that hard to learn. Like, you can just call me and go, how do I do an arched doorway or an arched window or a circular window?
Yeah.
That's pretty simple.
okay.
This is actually the basics are the basics. Advanced forming is not that hard, but we just don't have time to do it.
Yeah, yeah. So is forming a window better than a lintel? Like a concrete lintel or something?
I prefer it.
Yeah,
I like that look.
I do too.
You know, so that he's equidistant from his walls. But we're turning a corner with a single wall, so that's how I do it, right?
Yeah.
What you saw, the insulation there. And then James preferred the keyway, right? So he's nailed a board to his end panel, creating this indentation or this void, so that when you slide the next layer of insulation in, this goes right like that, right? You know, that sort of holds it in place. Either way is acceptable.
Does he run
Flush.
rebar? And
He did run rebar,
so
so I don't want to see it,
back to this joint here.
right?
He doesn't have a rammed earth tongue that goes into that groove. It's just the insulation.
Well, this is just an insulation key.
Right.
But when you were doing a no insulation, you do the same thing, and then when you put the next wall section and you're ramming into this, and it creates a three-way lock, which is the ancient way of joining wall systems, right? And if that's the wall system, if you're joining, you're not using rebar, and you have big enough walls, you'll have a keyway here and one in the footing as well, right? And so it's like Lego walking together, right? And I always, if you're doing a keyway, you cut these out of slight chamfer so that they pull out, because we're usually making the keyway board out of dimensional lumber. And so we're using wet concrete and wet rammed earth. So what's going to happen to that wood when it gets wet?
Swells.
It's going to swell, right? And if you do a perfect rectangle in there, you're going to have a heck of a time getting it out. So we just chamfered ever so slightly. Now, if you're doing this sort of a keyway joint thing for cabinetry, say you want to put a board here to screw your cabinetry to, we'll cut that board, put it in, do it exactly like a keyway joint, and then you will remove it when it's drying, and then you'll have a nicer piece of wood that you're going to anchor to the wall. And so this is just like concrete. You can put anchor bolts in this, ready rod bolts. It's cementous, but we of course want to hit our 28-day cure period before we do anything to these walls. We want these walls to harden nicely.
Next time on The Thai Life.
Yeah, mine has a safety trigger.
Mine does not.
Right. So I just put it through and I give it I go like this. 1, 2,
Yeah, dude.
3.
You're sweet here, Jessica.
Tuck it under. We're good. Okay.
We're getting ready to mix our first batch of rammed earth for our rammed earth sauna. Gonna get this set up, get this sprayed out, cleaned out, start mixing.